Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we will have some fun drawing Marvel's Juggernaut, and we will be doing a generic sketch. So if you have your pencils ready, we are ready to draw. As you know that this is a character that has wild proportions, so do not be afraid to go crazy with the dimensions there, especially on his upper body. So an arc right there and a necessary oval right here. And as you might have already guessed, for those who are fans of this character, that this is going to be his head, those are going to be his massive shoulders. So right about here we are going to put in a circle like that. This is smaller because we are showing that that part is in a perspective manner foreshortened. So that roundabout will be the chest, that will be, and I'm not necessarily doing a full body, so let's just draw an arc at the back right there, oval, one arc, and smaller arc right there. But then here we will do some, you could go with some foreshortening, and but we'll keep it simple because this is a quick sketch. So there's a small arc right there, larger arc, and oval, and right here we're going to put in small arc, circle, and another circle right there. So as you could probably make out that these are the arms, and we have the head, the torso, part of the legs, and we are all set to put down a sketch. So in principle, the best thing would be to first quickly put down the outlined shape, and as I said, you could go crazy in terms of proportions with Juggernaut, so I'm doing exactly just that. And this oval that I had put down, I put in his first hand or fist. I put in a massive bicep going right about there. And then there will be the chest. And you'll see that you'll make adjustments as we move along, but this is the general idea behind Juggernaut. Then And there we have it. extremely top heavy sculpt, and many artists actually like it that way. And then of course there is his generic costume, so we are not sticking with any particular costumer. So in this oval I will just encourage you to put in lines like that. So this will be where his holes have for the eyes in the helmet. I don't think I mentioned that this is supposed to be his helmet. There's the little nose. The eyes. And on his arms he has these huge bands. In fact, he has them here as well. And he has one right here. It's kind of like a punching apparatus, or I do not wish to take, it's something like a ring box. And this is round about various tunic ends. So now in these different versions of Juggernaut, we sometimes see that the helmet is extended a little more. That's up to you. And there are these bolts that go around, and sometimes that is a separate piece by itself. So I actually like that version, so we will go and craft that quickly. Okay. And of course you will fix things as we move along, and then if you have all this down, it all becomes a matter of shading him through. Just trying to grab something here that I can quickly work with, and then the remainder is really to use this to work. So just turn off the light there. So just make sure that the textures are different on the metal, although his metal is sometimes showed to be quite weathered, having taken a pounding or having gone through all those different structures that he's destroyed through his illustrator and through his very successful career in wrecking things. But we have to just make note of his. So what we keep going on with is ensuring in our way that the metal is highlighted differently than the skin texture. Now, although the objective of putting this guy down quickly on paper has already been taken care of, what we are just doing is adding some more details just to see how the textures pan out. And of course you should use the elementary concept of shading and inks to finish this guy off. So wherever there is a shadow falling, right under here and along that dome. And each of these things here will have a shadow of its own, depending on its placement. So as you see that I have just varied the use of pencil on the helmet in the different areas. You could also give Juggernaut some forearm hair, because some versions of him do have that. And it just gives him a more rugged feel. So while managing this with one medium, and that is pencil, you'll notice that I have made the lines on these bands, these metallic bands on his arms, straighter, because the cross hatch is essentially supposed to run along that particular surface. So while all of this is not necessarily a cross hatch, but there's quite a lot of cross hatching going on there, so now normally I would take my sweet time if I am to do a character like Juggernaut, whose inks and shadows really pose a challenge, not in the terms of a complicated costume, but sometimes when you have a character that is this big in size, it is just the sheer volume that poses a challenge to put in inks and crosshatch. So again, we are doing this as a quick essential practice. So let's say that this video necessarily has two parts to it. So one was, of course, that sketch itself, and the other will now be the part where we put in some inks, and I'm calling them inks, but it's really just pencil work that we are doing here, and some details for the hand, and then some shadows right there. So thank you very much for going through this entire exercise as I am trying to put down the pencils on this guy. So let's just use a little bit of smudging right there to speed this up. And then we are, let's just cover that up. Part of the knee that is showing. I wished I could have gone on a little farther down to incorporate his boots. They make for a very striking addition to the Juggernaut frame, but okay, it's alright. It's again, it's a quick essential practice, and this is what you usually achieve in a few minutes and with a pencil. So there we have it. It's a quick sketch of Juggernaut. I hope that you have fun googling images of this guy and trying different versions, different costumes. But this is a fairly generic one. I think it works. Thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe. Keep in touch. Have yourself a wonderful day.